Good morning, SKN. I'm Jamie Morris.
And I'm Cartenta Carty. Look at that. Today's fun fact. Dreamt is the only English word that ends in the letters MT. Wow. I never noticed.
I love the fact that we have a team of people dedicated to this sort of thing because otherwise I wouldn't know this.
You would never know. Well, now we
That's
know.
fascinating.
And the viewers know as well, so we're all educated.
I'll promise, though, we're going to do our best to make sure that you don't fall asleep during this show. Okay, we've got 2 hours to go, so stay with us. All right, we're moving on to the latest in local news. This by way of a Nevis Island Administration press release. Nevis Culturama is back. The official opening of the 48th edition of the annual festival was held on Thursday, July 21st, 2022, at the Nevis Cultural Village in Charlestown. The night's entertainment included performances by Calypsonians The Undertaker and King Astro, as well as masquerades and the Nevis Cultural Development Foundation Jumping Clowns. The contestants for the various pageants this year also made an appearance. The highlight of the evening was the 2022 Greenhouse Band Junior Kaiso Monarch competition, featuring 12 budding artists, each performing one song. Shanty Princess Neva Hendrickson topped the group for her rendition I'm Confused and was crowned the 2022 Greenhouse Band Junior Kaiso Monarch. Princess Callie placed first runner-up with 48 and Mighty J was second runner-up with Keep Pushing. Mr. Antonio Abernathy-Libert, Executive Director of the Culturama Secretariat and Chairman of the Cultural Committee, said the festival has progressed tremendously over the years. He revealed that the inaugural celebration held in 1974 had just 2 main activities, a calypso show which had only 3 competitors, and a Miss Culture Talent show.
Look at that. And now it's grown tremendously. And guess where I was yesterday? I went to the...
I figured as much. I was just letting you, come in with that tagline here. Yeah, punchline rather.
Oh, next time come with. Stakeholders in St. Kitts and Nevis participated in workshop aimed at addressing gender-based violence. This from SKNIS. Several persons from across various government ministries and departments, legal and medical practitioners, as well as civil society in St. Kitts and Nevis attended a one-day July 21st workshop aimed at addressing and dealing with gender-based violence in the Federation. Virgil Jeffers, Director of Department of Gender Affairs, outlined the desired results. Specifically, we are here, and at the end of the workshop, it is my hope that we would raise awareness and recognition of all gender-based violence. The increase in gender-based violence since the onset of COVID-19, as well as the increase in the knowledge of how persons can help, protect, and provide victims with the support services available. Mr. Jeffers welcomed the participants and wished them all the best as they learn new information that would not only benefit them personally, but also help to enhance their skills set at home, work, and in their wider community. Wow.
Well, that's a good thing, right?
A good thing, but I didn't know gender-based violence was on the rise.
Yeah, apparently,
COVID
especially.
brought out a lot of stuff.
Yes, because people were home, people weren't going anywhere, so they were subject to that, apparently, in higher numbers. So the workshop definitely a timely one, indeed. All right, moving on. Statue of Alexander Hamilton unveiled. This from Nevis Pages. A significant ceremony was held on the grounds of the Alexander Hamilton Museum on the afternoon of Friday, the 22nd of July. The ceremony, which saw the unveiling of a statue of Alexander Hamilton, was expertly chaired by Director at the Nevis Historical and Conservation Society, the NHCS, Ms. Janelle Nisbet. Among those making brief remarks were Mr. Richard Lupinacci, President of the NHCS, and Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. Premier Brantley created quite a stir and received a round of applause when he opined that since Alexander Hamilton was born on Nevis and contributed so significantly to the great United States of America, America should now in turn grant visa-free access to all divisions. Scott Maxcott, a Hamilton reenactor who, by the way, immaculately dressed the part, did a portrayal of Hamilton. Thomas Oller, Vice Chair of the Alexander Hamilton Awareness Society, AAHA, read a statement from Douglas Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton's 5th great-grandson. President of the AHA Society, Nicholas Scollett, also delivered remarks. A poem entitled Hamilton, You Are Back was aptly delivered by seasoned poet Harvey Hendrickson as well.
Nice.
And there is Alexander Hamilton, definitely back.
In
Who knows?
all his stateliness.
Do you think he has any copies of those visas in that in his hand right now? You never know. Never know.
Maybe it's written in that scroll that he's holding onto.
Maybe it's even stamped.
Yeah, they gotta pry it open, you know. Now for our hourly forecast, it's partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers, a high of 90 and a low of 72 degrees Fahrenheit. As we move out, the hour begins on 82 degrees Fahrenheit, so it is pretty warm this morning. But as the day progresses, we still have cloud cover, so we're still trying to hide that sun a little bit. So we'll be back shortly with regional and international news. Stay tuned.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
Great news, everyone! SKN Moves is turning 3. And this year, we are going to celebrate bigly by bringing back the 7-week challenge. For week 1, we will focus on the importance of breastfeeding. In week 2, we will participate in the SKN Moves Anniversary Walk. Week 3, let's watch the In Your Kitchen I Rep My Community competition finals. Week 4, a healthy drinking water challenge. During week 5, it's all about mindfulness and our mental health. And no, that's not all. In week 6, we will learn about self-care and management. The celebrations end in week 7 with the Caribbean Wellness Week activities, National Fruit Day and National Sneaker Day. Come participate, celebrate and enjoy. Join SKN Moves and let us move toward a healthier St. Kitts and Nevis.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
Salt is an important part of the human diet, but most of us consume more than we realize.
Welcome back. We now continue with the latest in regional news. This from Antigua Observer Media. A meeting to discuss possible changes to the format for JUVA 2022 is slated to be held with the various jam bands and cabinet next week. Cabinet spokesperson Samantha Marshall addressed the matter at the post-cabinet press briefing on Thursday. Marshall said, and quote, "It is expected that Carnival will have stakeholder meetings with the jam bands. We note that there are some considerations for alterations in the style of the Juve, and so we would like to be fully aware of that coming out of that meeting so that we are all on the same page. We do hope that we will be able to have a very exciting Juve for 2022, and I think that we are all well on the way to that," end quote. This proposed change comes on the heels of previous plans put forward by the Ministry of Creative Industries and Innovation to move all the parades out of the city to around the Sir Vivian Cricket Stadium. That proposal was, however, met with lots of pushback from the members of the public, more so vendors who felt that the change to the route would result in diminished sales. People always have the final say, huh? We are the government.
So it seems, Cortensia.
Yes.
And you were on the ground there, so you know exactly what routes they're talking about, what those changes actually look like. Very fascinating indeed. All right, moving on to the international scene. This from Reuters. The rapidly spreading monkeypox outbreak represents a global health emergency, the World Health Organization's highest level of alert, WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said on Saturday. The WHO label, a public health emergency of international concern, that's PHEIC, is designed to trigger a coordinated international response and could unlock funding to collaborate on sharing vaccines and treatments. Members of an expert committee that met on Thursday to discuss the potential recommendation were split on the decision, with 9 members against and 6 in favor of the declaration, prompting Tedros himself to break the deadlock, he told reporters. Tedros told a media briefing in Geneva, quote, "Although I am declaring a public health emergency of international concern, for the moment, this is an outbreak that is concentrated among men who have sex with men, especially those with multiple sexual partners," end quote. All right, so we've got that label. We're on alert, and we're going to be sharing vaccines, etc. That's what that's about.
That monkeypox needs to stay at bay, though.
I hear you, but I think that we're just getting to the age where we have, can we call it disease fatigue? Never really know at this point. So
every second is a different disease, huh?
Indeed. Well, there you have it for the latest. We'll be back in a moment with more Good Morning SKN. Stay tuned.
I eat some veggies for dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are salt smart.
Has anyone ever touched you here, here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Often in mathematics classes, people ask themselves, when would I ever use these equations? I ask myself that all the time. How will I ever use this in real life? Jamie, have you ever had one of those moments?
I did until I actually needed to use them. So, yes, I did. Short answer, yes.
Me too, as I said before. Well, today, Jamie and I are going to be sharing some real-life applications of mathematics formula PI. What is that?
Pi.
Pi?
Pi.
So where's the E?
Not private eye, Cortensia. Pi.
Oh my God. You heard what I said? PI? I didn't know that was pi. Sorry.
So this one's going to be very useful for you and others who are missing the E on pi as well. All right.
Pi. People, do you see why I said I didn't pass maths and I had to do it twice? Pi is a mathematical constant that is the ratio of a circle's circumference to its diameter, approximately equal to 3.14159. Is this what Polly was talking about the other day? With the circle?
No, because you're
else?
going to use it, but not directly. So yeah.
Okay. But did you know that pi has an estimated 31 trillion decimal places? What?
I always say that it's non-recurring, so literally it's like it just never ends. And that's how we approximate it.
Wow.
By the way, having read that, do you even know what a circumference is?
Yeah, the outside of a circle.
Okay, good. You're working that. So you're halfway home to pi, Cortensia.
Remember, I did basic and general maths.
You're halfway home to pi. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh my gosh, Jimmy is killing me with this mathematics. Well, let's explore some real-life applications of PI, known as pi.
All right, let's talk about the construction here. So pi helps in calculating the amount of material required for constructing arches, bridges, and buildings.
So architects use that.
See, that's a real life
Engineers
application.
use that. Yeah, but
Teachers use that. Students use that.
But where would I use that?
If you're baking a cake and you want it to fit into a certain pan or something like that, just for fun.
What?
Have you never baked a round cake?
Jimmy.
Or pudding?
Yeah, but I'm not going to go calculate any sort of
I'm just saying.
Come on. That's a lot.
Pie is a whole lot of fun.
It's
Did
a
I just
whole
say
lot
baking
of
a
fun
cake? I
to
should say
eat.
baking a pie. That's what I should say.
Exactly.
There you
It's
go.
a whole lot of fun to eat. Okay. Oh, music. There is a song inspired by the first 100 digits of pi. It is called Pi and was sung by Kate Bush in her album Ariel, which was released in 2005. Do you know that person?
No.
I wonder how that...
I never knew Pi had a song. There she is.
Ooh. Okay.
Pi has a whole song.
We are going to listen to that song during the break so you can be familiar with what the song is, because I've never heard Pi, Pi.
I don't think that's how it sounds. See, I'm just saying.
Just trying
I'm just
here.
Saying. All right, let's talk about probability and statistics. Pi is widely used in analyzing the probability or chance of anything happening or not happening. So it is also used by statisticians to track population dynamics and occurs in the tables of death. I have never heard of the tables of death. Can I swap it for the tables
so what
of
are
life?
The tables?
I'm
wow.
kidding. Wait, well, not really kidding when I say I want to swap death for life, but you get me in this.
Hey, we're never getting out alive, huh?
That's one way of looking at it.
Never. Literary works. Famous author Mike Keith used the first 10,000 digits of pi to write an entire book. Not a week.
Wow. And there is look at that.
Ooh.
The diagrams. Very fascinating.
Yeah, I like the abstract art. It looks like somebody's under there with painting something, trying to get up a stair. Then it looks like DNA. Then it looks like, you know, when you do geography, the ground.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because what I see in that is like curvature, and obviously, you know, you're using pi for that. So.
Look at you. Mathematician himself. No, never will be.
I love the caption on that, though. All right, genetics. So genetics. Yes, Hortensia, genetics. Pi can be found in the spiral of the DNA double helix. The ladder-like structure of the DNA helix is held together by pi bonds. These pi bonds are stacking interactions that help to keep the structure in place.
What?
They're pi bonds. And there you go.
Wow. Look at that. So not only is pie good to eat, pie can also hold things together. It's sticky.
Not the same pie. That's it. Not the same
Just
pie.
teasing.
Not the same pie.
So clocks. Clock designers use pie when designing pendulum for clocks. Ooh.
Well, I would think so, because you've got a circular figure, that's one, but then it's also moving.
Yeah.
Circular, right?
What are you calculating in your mathematics brain? I can hear you.
I'm not calculating anything. You can hear me. Wow, TikTok goes the clock. Or my brain, by the way. All right. Astrophysics and astronomy.
Look at that. So pi was used by early astronomers to study the Earth and its rotation as well as its orbits. Why is my voice going? It has also been used in calculating the density of planets. So pi has been used for a lot of things.
Yeah, of course. You realize that you're repeating the patterns because you're talking about circular or spiral patterns, so obviously anything on art, you're going to be using pi for.
Yeah.
You're getting that segment of a circle. So
that middle of the galaxy looks so edible. I wonder if that's a Milky Way.
I'm not even going there. Communications. Let's talk about communications. All right, so cell phones use pi-based calculations to improve the speed and accuracy of voice-based communication. Now, if you're like me, you're not only curious to know that they do this, but you're like, well, how?
Yes.
And that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, this is a lot of fun.
So do you know how they do it?
No, that's exactly why I asked it. It's like, but how do you do that? You know?
Wow. There's a lot of research. Let me tell you, this is a whole project. I go home and research things. Medicine. Pi is used by doctors to study the structure of the eye, which helps to produce eye medicine, such as eye drops. Wow. Pi is just all over.
Do you see that? And that, no pun intended, by the way. Do you see that? How useful pi is? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. So this is exactly.
Look at that.
Well, you know what? You can go back to school now and ask the question, well, how am I going to use this? If we were to go back in time, you would have gone to the future and know now exactly how we use pi.
Now I know when I see PI, it's not private investigator, or PI, it is pi without the E.
Sorry, Magnum. I'm sorry, I'm kidding.
Jeremy, listen. Maths wasn't my strongest subject, and I swear. No.
It's a whole lot of fun, though. The applications of it, and as you see, it's broad-based applications.
But how would I use pi now today?
But you just read how you read it all.
Yeah, but I mean, how am I gonna apply it to my life today? That's what I meant. Let me say that, because I'm not baking a cake, and even if I'm baking a cake, I would never think about that.
All right, the platform that we're on, for instance, you have a certain amount of cloth, and you want to know how to cut it. If we were going to do it in a circle instead.
Okay.
Okay, she says. No idea. Curtis is like, okay, can't visualize this, can't visualize this. No. Yeah.
It's mathematics. I think I have a mental block to mathematics, and that's something that I need to take off. The mere fact that I said after I pass it again, I want nothing else to do with it, that's how my mind functions. So when I read it earlier, the only next thing I thought of, when am I going to use maths again? Maybe when I get a kid and I have to go back to school, help them with homework and all these things.
Well,
that's the only time you basically use maths again.
Yeah, unless you're like one of those parents who's like, yeah, go do your. I said to do your homework. Did you do your homework? You're not helping the child do the homework, but it's like, do your homework. You know.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're one of those parents. We get you. Yeah.
No. Boy, they ain't opening that brain again. They have enough to worry about.
Listen,
right?
all they need to know is that the child is getting a good grade. And so when they're home, they're providing that supervision. It's like, I can't help you get it right, but I'm going to monitor you and make sure that you do something. Right? That's it. There are a lot of parents like that.
Yeah. And it's still working, because the fact that they're being monitored and they're being watched, mom and dad is watching you. So they're going to do what they have to do. And that way they'll learn their work. They won't have an extra brain to, depend on. So when they go to school, if the teacher is preoccupied with other students, they can do their thing until they're ready to go to the teacher and say, did I do this right?
Well, I guess.
So yeah, you're teaching them brain independence. Use your own brain.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
Unless they're going to be crying their eyes out because they don't get pi. And then they're going to be asking this question yet again, when am I ever going to use these things in real life? Which is typically what everybody asks.
On the funny side, they can get pi. Go to the fridge and cut a piece.
Come on. One of the interesting things about mathematics, and I guess the most challenging things about it as well, is that it can be very abstract. So the more involved you become in it, the more abstract you realize it is. So you're not actually dealing with things that are tangible, but you're dealing with theories, and then, look at it. You're literally expanding your horizons. You're using it in ways. Take, for instance, how do we know how far we are from the sun?
I know. We have to use by now.
How do we get telescopes up there projected into space and all those other things? Right?
You have to use all of that.
You got to use mathematics, right? Somebody thought this was possible. So we're so you're testing as well, right?
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah, indeed.
Hi. Yeah. Hopefully, Cortensia didn't make you guys hungry. I'm really hoping. Because
I'm sorry. But yeah, mathematics is a lot, and it's needed because, as I said, everywhere you go for a job, it's always maths and English. You have maths and English. Although you're not going to use all the elements of mathematics, some form of it is required in every job that we do.
Of course.
Yeah, don't put a mental block on it. But I hope teachers are making maths fun from now, so that when kids get older, they will think it's the bomb.com.
You know what was fun?
We have to find a way to make maths fun.
You know what was fun?
What?
And that little red tick that we used to get in books. The more of those you see
with
when
the
your
very
teachers
good
are walking around.
and the gold star.
Yeah, teachers got a lot of exercise like that, by the way. I can tell in class, walking around. Better take your red pen. That student's like, Mr. Morris, you didn't mark my book. I want my mark. You gave me my mark. I'm like, I'm sorry, I forgot my pen today. Here.
They
would literally give me a pen.
Wow.
Yeah, they'd be like, here, I have one.
Those kids were serious. Did any of your students literally mark their own book?
Oh, I did that all the time. There's no way I would be like, I put the answer on the board, I have my students work. You have to know.
No, but I mean not working with you, but by themselves. Like mark it and give them their self.
You know what? Maybe one or two. Maybe one or two. And then they brought it to me and they're like, yeah, I marked it. Check it. Is it correct? I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Nice.
All right.
So folks, there you have it. We need mathematics in some form every day. We do advise that you stay tuned. Up next, we have Davina Baptiste.
Hey, my friend, what going on?
Not a thing. I just here cooling under this tree, about to eat a mango or two.
Where you get mango from all now?
Boy, Auntie Rose bring me some mango this morning.
Oh, gosh. What you hit me for?
You give me something to put on?
Girl, you can't just come tempting me with these juicy round pally mangoes and expect me not to want some.
Just because something looks appealing and you want it, doesn't mean you are entitled to it and that you should touch or take it. Your mother ain't teach you manners. Ask for consent first before you touch up the mango them.
But why ask? And if it's dear, it's dear. Just take it. Why ask?
Simple. If it is mine and you ain't asked for it, it is called, wait for it, stealing.
That's true. My bad. Okay. May I please have some mangoes?
I don't know. After that spectacle, I ain't sure I want to give you any.
You see that? But I ask.
Just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give. It is still my mangoes.
So what you tell me ask for then?
Because consent is everything. Had you asked first, I would have been more inclined to give you one. And just because you ask doesn't mean I have to give you. You got it?
Okay, I got it. Now, may I please have some mangoes?
Only because you're my friend and I like you. But that still don't mean you're entitled to it.
Okay, I get it. I get it.
Good. Don't leave your mango skin on the ground, eh?
If you understand the importance of asking for someone's consent for a mango, then it shouldn't be too hard to understand consent when it comes to sex. The power of consent is everything. Ask first. If you or a friend has been sexually assaulted, please call 465-5000 for the Counseling Center.
This message was brought to you by No Judgment SKN and sponsored by the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the Department of Gender Affairs, and the Caribbean Development Bank.
I'm here St. Kitts, Nevis, with a name for us I represent for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. Respect the COVID protocols. In a time like this, all for one for all. St. Kitts Nevis. Don't forget your mask. Wear it everywhere you go. Sanitize before and after everything you do. Cause you never know what's on the surface of the places you go. Maintain a safe social distance between me and you. Keep calm and stay focused. Don't be a fool, seek the facts first. And boost your immune system up. Don't wanna lose no more of us. Mask up, furlough, sanitize, observe the protocols all about. Be wise. Mask up, furlough, sanitize. Me family fitting boat. And you.
Blessed love and greetings. This is Infamous, and I am here to encourage every Kittitian and Nivision to remember that we have our part to play in the fight against COVID-19. So sanitize, wear your face mask, practice social distancing, and go and get vaccinated. For me no know about you, but me love think it's bad. Easy no man.
Children, how can you tell a tsunami coming?
Teacher me.
Sammy?
My mother said when uncle jump in the pool and the water spoosh out, that's how you tell a tsunami coming.
Settle down, children, settle down. Do you remember our tsunami song?
Yes! When you feel like shaking and swimming around, you see the ocean gone like the fish on the sand. You should run, to hide run, a tsunami soon come.
Mommy, Uncle not here and the other shake.
Hush your mouth.
Daddy, Uncle not here and the sea gone.
Who cares? You don't see all them free fish? Quick, give me the bag.
This is how you tell a tsunami a come. Teacher says so. I would have failed in school, you know.
Sammy, come, let me go. They would have failed anyhow. Let me run, see Sammy.
When you feel the earth shaking and it's moving all around, you see the ocean gone like the fish on the sand. You should run, to higher ground, a tsunami soon come.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
No cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
You're watching Good Morning SKN. One of the things that most people do at mornings is eat breakfast. That's right. We were out there surveying. You know that most people did this, right? Yeah. So I'm in the minority here. Anyway, so today, as we loosen up, we'll be talking about popular breakfast foods. I just keep slipping, don't I? No pun intended. From around the world. Popular breakfast foods from around the world. All right.
Yes, and to our viewers, I must apologize. I guess I'm too excited for Davina to be on next.
Yeah. Yep, you
Forgive
were.
me. But she will be on though. She will be on. So you've got to stay tuned for that part.
You were.
Yeah, extreme. And I think I'm going to be excited until it's done.
All right, so we're all the way in Venezuela. That's actually just
Close
south
to
of us, isn't it? Right?
Close to me.
enough.
Yeah.
So this is cachapas, right? That's where we're going with it.
What is cachapas?
So that's the question. Here's the answer. These are sweet corn pancakes, usually filled with a soft mozzarella-like cheese.
Ooh. That's a rich breakfast. It looks good.
It's a rich breakfast. It looks very appetizing.
Yeah, it almost looks like a s'more / Oreo.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Burnt. Or dare I say
No, just
grilled.
charred.
Charred, okay.
Yes.
That's the correct word, isn't it? Charred.
Charred.
Sounds so sophisticated to say that they just charred. Yeah. All right.
Cambodia. What? Kaitiv? What is Kaitiv?
We're about to find out.
Ooh. This rice noodle soup is made with pork or beef broth along with shallots, garlics, and herbs. It is served with pork or fish balls, chili paste, and half a lime. This is lunch.
This is where I wish we had smell-o-vision right now.
Oh
like
my
literally.
God, look at that.
Because I would love to smell that.
Kaitiv.
I love the eggs on the side though. The presentation is just so amazing, isn't it?
Oh my God, I'm looking at the shrimp and the sauce. That's the only thing that got me.
Why do we have to talk about breakfast when I don't really eat breakfast before the show airs? This is so bad.
So now
This
you're
is
going to get
so bad.
hungry?
I'm going to get very hungry.
Wow.
And we don't have a food segment today. Well, we do, but it's not really in person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is Costa Rica. Okay. So gallo pinto. What is that? So it is made with rice stir-fried with black beans, red pepper, and onions. It is topped with salsa and sour cream and served with eggs, avocado, cheese, or tortillas. So, Cortense, the crocado that you were just spooning a while ago, you're about 1/8 of the way there.
Just one ingredient I had. But this is basically lunch.
I was about to say, it looks
yeah,
like
this
lunch.
is lunch. Lunch
Or at least
for
a Jamaican
breakfast.
breakfast.
Wow, peas and rice. Nice. Look at that. Australia. And it is Vegemite. Ooh, Vegemite. So it is a thick black spread made from brewer's yeast extract and is traditionally spread in a very thin layer on some butter toast. That's like Marmite. It's a black thing. Boy, that thing's strong. As a kid, I never really liked it. I don't think I'm gonna like. It tastes weird.
For you, but for the people who have it as breakfast all the time, I mean, I guess this is a great thing.
My
It might be an
aunt
acquired
still
taste.
eats it in the UK, and I'm like, I'd be like, no, I do not want anything called Marmite. Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right, we're going to Bangladesh. All right, so this is, I have no idea what you say this, chapatis or chapatis?
Chapati.
I apologize for butchering your breakfast food. All right.
Chapati.
All right, so I won't even call the name again. I'll just tell you what it is. Wheat flour flatbreads called, well, there you go. I have to say it again, don't I? Chapatis are frequently served for breakfast along with potato curry or scrambled eggs. Okay, so this is not bad. I think I can relate to this a little more than some of the others.
That's lunch again.
Here you go.
That is an appetizer when you go to the Indian restaurant, or that could be a whole lunch.
Looks
yeah, roti. Looks like roti.
Yeah, it does.
With a dip.
It does.
That type of
With a
roti
dip.
in Ghana we call sada roti because it has the spots. It's
Hey, we
different to the plain roti.
We should have done breakfast in Guyana. I mean, we're missing here, you know. Anyway.
Jambing. I'm trying to get the toe.
Oh, the toe.
Yes, Jambing. Now we are in Taiwan. Yes, I hope my tone was correct. In Taiwan, a kind of crepe called jambing is a typical breakfast. It literally means fried pancake and is made from egg and wheat flour.
That's a fried pancake?
Yep, it does look like a little flat nacho or a taco.
Yep.
Breakfast, appetizer for lunch.
For those of you who are looking at this right now and have not eaten breakfast yet and are stuck at your desks, guess what? I can relate. I apologize, but I can relate.
It just means it's time to go get breakfast.
All right, so
Yeah.
we're in Eastern Africa right now, and this is Mandazi. All right, I love the name. I feel like this is the name of somebody. That's what I feel. Just sounds like it, all right? So these soft triangular donuts often made with coconut milk and floured with ground. I don't even know what that is. Cardamom?
Yeah, cardamom.
Okay, are usually enjoyed with a cup of simple tea or spiced chai.
Oh man, they make me want spice. It looks like
Yeah,
what do you
does.
call it? It looks like Johnny cake, but in a triangular form.
Mate, you said donuts. That's all I'm seeing,
Yeah.
and I'm actually tasting it. I'm smelling it right now as donuts. Not even.
But
Johnny
Rituals does have donuts like that is filled in the center. So yeah.
Okay.
Look at it. Ooh, full medames. Oh gosh, I don't know if I said that. We are now in Egypt, folks. Yes,
Yeah, that's
we are now
safer.
in Egypt. Full medames is fava beans. That's a fava bean stew that some have suggested dates back to ancient Egyptian times. It is made with dried fava beans that are gently cooked and simply flavored. This sounds. Oh, you almost look like a black eyed peas mash. I like the cherry
you've ever
tomatoes
had
and the
that.
garnish.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that looks
look,
attractive.
they have a dip, so it could be, like hummus.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't find it look a little hummusy?
Never had hummus.
You have
I stayed far from hummus.
Why?
I don't
Allergic?
know.
Don't like garbanzo beans?
There,
Don't like
there's something,
chickpeas?
I don't know. Anything that, I don't know. Am I weird? The sound
you're
of it
not.
just
You're
sounds
not.
like,
You're not.
it's just like, okay, maybe not today, hummus. Maybe not
Everybody has their own liking, so yeah. I like their
today. It sounds a little
cucumbers
too
too.
much like hummus, but anyway. Not a good reason, right? But hey,
Oh
it is
my
what it is.
gosh.
All right, so we're going to Finland. We're hopping around the globe here.
yes.
We're in Finland, from Venezuela to Finland.
I know.
And we're talking about puro. So it's a hearty bowl of oat-based porridge.
Okay.
Now this I can relate to. Here we go. All right, let's go again. It's a hearty bowl of oat-based porridge called puro, and it is a common breakfast in Finland, often served with milk, fresh or frozen berries, and a bit of butter with sugar. Well, guess what? I guess we eat puro nearly every day here, right? We can relate to
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
So now we know what we
Minus
gotta
the
call it.
butter. I wonder who puts butter here in the Caribbean. I never heard of butter. But maybe it could be
Nah.
grits too.
I guess.
Because it does resemble grits with the color, but then we know it's oat, so.
You know what this reminds me of? When I was younger and I used to look at the cornflakes box, the cereal box,
Mhm.
and you see all these fruits in the box, and I used to be like, wow, this is really good, and I'm going to open the box, and I'm going to go, it's going to go in my bowl. Oop, there are no fruits. False advertising. This is good advertising. But literally, I was like, they're lying to me.
Yep.
Remember those boxes they used to have them
Yeah.
all? I really thought
I
we
guess
would
they
get
were
all
just
that.
advertising and showing you what you can add to the cereal.
Tell that to a little kid who thinks that you're going to get what's in the box.
No, it
Seriously.
doesn't work that way. Iran. Wow. So we have halim. I think
Sounds
I
like
said
the
that
name of
correct.
Somebody else.
Exactly. It is a stew similar to farina, and it is made from wheat, barley, minced beef, or mutton, lentils, lots of spices, and sometimes rice. This is lunch again.
Do you know what farina is, by the way? Because it's similar to farina, but I don't know what farina is.
Farina is a type of, I think it's cornmeal.
Oh, really? Okay. If that's the case, well then, okay,
It's
I guess I can relate to that as
Corn
well.
flour, something of the sort. Yeah.
I gotta say, these things are really interesting. I'm wondering now, my question is, what is the strangest breakfast that you guys have ever had? Like, literally, what is, strangest breakfast that you guys have ever had? For me, it was M&M's. Anyway.
That's not a strange breakfast. That's a good breakfast. I used to
No
eat. I
way.
remember when I was young, I used to have cookies and ice cream and chips and everything for breakfast. I can't try that now.
Oh, you're
No,
like
no,
the
no.
Park Hills generation that one of my colleagues just referred to you guys.
Yeah.
Incidentally, he was also from Guyana, so there you go. Perhaps he knew what he was saying.
There we go. It was fun. It was fun.
Oh, man. Yeah, so that's really interesting. So we've hopped all around the world and we've looked at the different breakfasts that we could have. Not only if we go there, the puro, I think, is the one that's going to resonate with me. Not the donuts so much, but the puro.
Mhm.
Porridge, puro. That's going to stick.
The easy one.
Indeed. Oh, boy.
Yes.
Very interesting indeed. So we've gone from Venezuela. I told you that we should have gone to Guyana,
Oh, Guyana is going to be quite easy. It's going to be roti and something.
Okay.
Or something heavy, too.
Well, on that note, we're going to wrap this up. See the pun, right? All right, we'll be back in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
no cash, no card, no problem. Dad, embrace the freedom.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake, I coming Tuesday around 10? No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced, and when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that, because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take care yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
Everyone is encouraged to adopt a healthy and positive approach to daily life. Here are a few friendly reminders.
When you go to the local market and food vendors, remember to maintain a social distance of 6 feet or 2 meters apart. And always wear your mask.
Always keep your hands clean. Wash your hands with soap and water, or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
When dining, choose restaurants with staggered seating. This will lower the risk of transmission.
If you have a fever, cough, or other respiratory symptoms, please wear a mask and seek medical care immediately. Rest at home and do not visit the food vendors, local markets, or restaurants.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and, most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same, because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
It's only just a phase. Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gonna be safe. Everybody gonna be one safe. Kind, yeah. One people. We are roll up to roll out, yeah. 'Cause no man's alone. Do what's right, alright. 'Cause I love you, brother, my sister. And we're in this together, my sister, my brother. I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Hey, I don't wanna lose you. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to roll up to roll out.
It's been 6 months now and Glenn hasn't been working. His attitude has completely changed and he's been leaving the house every day for hours and liming with his friends and coming home drunk and causing confusion.
Gloria, this is what you cook today? This is not enough food for a big man like me.
But Glenn, it's been 6 months now. You haven't given me any money to shop for food.
Okay, so what you want me to do if my boss ain't called me out for work as yet?
Look for a different job now.
What you just said to me?
Get a next job.
What?
Help! Let me go!
Let go what? Yeah, let's see what really happened. Let go what? Watch them out with me now.
The weekend mom and dad fight. When are they going to stop?
Domestic violence is not just physical, it's mental, emotional, economical, and psychological. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492. Special Victims Unit 662-7077. Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We now are on our segments Connections. St. Kitts and Nevis has not fallen short when it comes to nurturing medical professionals. Many of them are out creating a vibrant presence in the diaspora. Today, we will be speaking to one such individual who has already made her mark in the profession, having already been awarded the distinction of Fellow of the American College of Physicians in 2016, an accolade that acknowledges her contributions to medicine and her broader community. We welcome to Good Morning SKN Dr. Marika Gray, a national of the Federation who is currently residing in Tennessee, USA. Good morning, Dr. Gray, and once again, welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, Hortensia and Jamie. Thank you for having me.
It is indeed our pleasure. So, Dr. Gray, you are currently the System VP for Ambulatory Transformation and Innovation of CHI Memorial Medical Group. What does that involve?
Oh, it's a little bit of everything. So in my role here at CHI Memorial and its parent company, Common Spirit Health, I work on transforming clinical practice. So we really work on making the day of the patients, the staff, and the physicians who work with them a lot easier. So we have about 142 hospitals and 1,200 ambulatory sites, and I work across our 21 states with our doctors and our administrators all across the U.S. On different ways to use technology, changing workflows, and changing processes to help with the patients and with the doctors.
Well, that's an incredible job.
Yeah, I know.
Indeed. Tell us what it's like taking the lead on the rollout of telehealth across multiple sites during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, well, that was interesting because I literally remember the day when the pandemic started, or at least we were officially declared a pandemic, because my team was traveling in Kentucky and they could not visit a clinic because we thought there possibly could be a COVID positive patient there. And so most of my team is based in California and Arizona, so they flew back. And from then on, we were grounded for about 2 years. So at the start of the pandemic, it was clear that we could not bring patients into the office, but we needed still to reach them. So our technical teams started working immediately to find a vendor that could support an organization as large as ourselves. And we came up with a contract with Zoom, and then it was up to myself, my team, and a great group of doctors from around the country to really pull together the workflows to make that happen. So within 3 weeks, we had the entire organization back up and running using telehealth. And we found that to be a great resource for our patients. So even though the pandemic is still here, but the world has opened back up again to a certain extent, we're still using telehealth for a lot of our visits, representing about 8% of our income overall, because we find that it's a great way not only to reach patients who are near, but to reach patients who are far as well.
Absolutely.
Dr. Gray, if we did not have a pandemic, do you think telehealth was something that the healthcare field was moving towards?
So I think for the U.S., the healthcare field was always moving towards it, but in the U.S., we're heavily governed by how we're paid. So unfortunately, before the pandemic, we weren't really paid for telehealth. So there was no real appetite to pick it up. Although I have to say the uses for telehealth in remote areas has been really proven. So there's a project called Project Echo, which started in the Southwestern US, which is being duplicated across the US, which gives the ability for specialists who are far away to consult with physicians who are nearby. And I can truly see that being a model that the Caribbean adopts as well.
Absolutely, so can I, indeed. What can you tell us about what it's like having an input in the design of medical centers as well, Doctor?
Oh, so that's interesting because, when you come to a doctor's office, I don't know that many people who come willingly. So usually when you show up at a doctor's, you're a little scared. You may get some news you don't want to hear, or most people know that they put off something with their health that they need to pay attention to. So we really want to make it so that patients feel welcome and we calm their nerves when they come in. So we take in all aspects of that design to really make sure that when you walk in the doors, you feel welcome, you're greeted, and people know you and know who you are. We make sure that when you come into our offices, the chaos of the usual work is not seen, but you just see a calm, pleasant atmosphere. And really that we have the workflow so that when the doctor walks in, they know exactly why you are there. They have all your information. And when we send you on maybe to another appointment or another specialist, that happens seamlessly. So we design the buildings that way so that you can come in, feel welcome, feel rested while you're there, and never feel stressed, which is a little hard to do when it's a doctor's office, but definitely worth it.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. So as an internist, Dr. Gray, what was the most interesting medical mystery you have solved or assisted in solving?
So I used to practice in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, which is a really small town. So unfortunately, even if I give some details, the patients will probably know who they are. But the one I can share was actually when I first started practicing, I was called to one of our treatment rooms by the nurses, and I walked in, and my fellow physician and partner was standing up, gasping for breath, and asking one of the nurses to pull up some epinephrine. It turned out she had a severe allergic reaction, and we lost her pulse. So she basically died in our exam room, and we had to resuscitate her. And I was in small town Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, which usually every ambulance is about 2 minutes away. But that day they were caught on the highway with another accident. So it took them 10 minutes to get to us. So myself, 2 nurses in my practice spent 10 minutes just trying to keep my partner alive while the ambulance came to bring the rest of the supplies and get her to the hospital to stabilize her heart. So definitely the most memorable.
Indeed, I would say.
Thank you for saving her life.
Yeah, that's scary, but it's also so important. So I think it drives you to continue doing what you do. Is that not right, doctor?
She makes it look easy. She makes it look easy.
So are you still a practicing internist?
I am. I did a year or so where I did not practice. I was mainly administrative, but I really found that I missed practicing medicine, and I like seeing patients. So because of my schedule, I don't do it that much, but I do pop into an office occasionally and just help with that area of the work. I just love that portion of what I do and my training. I figured I trained this long, I might as well use the skills in that way as well.
I love that.
So when you're not practicing, does your patient prescribe that you practice?
So I think the best part about not practicing regularly is that where I practice, they're used to that. So I'm that doctor who comes in on a pinch hitting basis and fills in for the other docs when they're on vacation and so on. So the patients appreciate that there's someone there to see them, late on a Friday afternoon where they may have had to go to an urgent care or maybe even waited out that weekend. And because of that, they're not expecting me to be there on a regular basis.
Nice. So describe climbing the ladder from president of the CHI Memorial Medical Group to your present position.
Well, I had always been involved in transforming care. Ever since I started practicing, my office was always kind of tweaking things to figure out how do we do this better, how do we do that better, and so on. And at that time, I was with a system that was very progressive, that allowed us to really just play to figure out how to make our days better. And what we found that worked, we expanded it to the rest of our doctor's offices in that area. So when I came down to lead CHI Memorial, and as our groups across the country started to get together and start talking, I was meeting with colleagues in Arizona, California, North Dakota, and so on. And we started talking about what we would want to do to make things better. And my passion for this work was evident. So when our companies, we had two companies that merged to form one of the largest healthcare companies in the US. And when they merged, I was tapped to move forward to really help the organization shift to the next level. So it was really an ask of the senior leadership. And it was that question for me, whether I wanted to stay locally based at CHI Memorial, where we have this wonderful group of about 250 doctors, or whether I wanted to expand to this national role where I could help about 1,200 sites, about 6,000 doctors. And really the weird thing and great thing about our organization is that we touch 1 in 4 Americans. So the ability to help out on such a massive scale was just too irresistible.
Oh, that's too sweet. Well, Dr. Gray, we'll have much more with you after this break. Viewers, we do advise that you stay tuned.
Great news, everyone! SKN Moves is turning 3. And this year, we are going to celebrate bigly by bringing back the 7-week challenge. For week 1, we will focus on the importance of breastfeeding. In week 2, we will participate in the SKN Move anniversary walk. Week 3, let's watch the In Your Kitchen I Rep My Community competition finals. Week 4, a healthy drinking water challenge. During week 5, it's all about mindfulness and our mental health. And no, that's not all. In week 6, we will learn about self-care and management. The celebrations end in week 7 with the Caribbean Wellness Week activities, National Fruit Day and National Sneaker Day. Come participate, celebrate and enjoy. Join SKN Moves and let us move toward a healthier St. Kitts and Nevis.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We continue our discussion with Dr. Marika Gray, and we're going to find out about some of her other pursuits.
Yes.
So, Dr. Gray, interesting facts that you were sharing with us during the break, stemming from, of course, the question of whether or not you engage in any public speaking. So I'll let you answer that question the way that you did before.
Speaking, because I work a lot with healthcare and technology, I get involved with different conferences and so on who want to know a doctor's perspective. But I think I was joking over the break that my aunt is Jazzy D at ZIZ. So since I was knee-high to a tadpole, I was at ZIZ near the radio. And my dad, Vincent Gray, was one of the engineers there. So I'm very used to talking, very used to being in public. And I also have to give a shout out to Dr. Gavin Hamilton, who is an internist in San Francisco. And he and I used to debate on a regular basis and won the St. Kitts debating championship when we were like 12.
Wow.
So I think that set the ground for my public speaking from there on.
Good stuff, good stuff. So there is a position that you presently hold that enables you to lobby on behalf of your community and meet with policymakers. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I am president of the Chattanooga Hamilton Medical Society for this year. So it is our local medical society that basically represents all of our physicians in the area. And one of the things that we do as part of that role is that we meet with legislators within Tennessee, and we talk about the issues that are important to physicians within the state of Tennessee, because just as in St. Kitts, the government sets the regulations around the physicians in terms of their scope of practice and what is and isn't allowed. In the US, it's the same thing with the states. The state legislatures are actually the ones who ultimately set the rules for what physicians can or cannot do. So my team and I we go out as doctors on a regular basis to the Hill in Tennessee and talk to those legislators about what's important to us.
Lovely. Thank you for that.
It's not all work as a doctor, because we understand that you are a creative at heart as well. right? We know that you left your
Yes.
mark at university, and we're going to ask you to tell us about that as well.
Yeah, so those who know me from St. Kitts know that I did a lot of artwork when I was in St. Kitts. I was very amused. We were joking earlier. I was back home from a music festival, and I went up to Brimstone Hill, and the logo I designed is still there. It didn't give me a discount on admission, but it's still there. And I danced as well. So I danced with the Vivace Dance Company when I was in St. Kitts. And when I went off to college, we started a dance company there called the Dark Arts Performing Dance Company that's still in existence. It's 25 years later, and we still have a group of young ladies who do all sorts of dance, tap, modern, jazz, and Caribbean. So I like to think that I've left my mark that way. And I have to say, I learned how to play pan during the summers in St. Kitts with Pan SKN. And over the pandemic, I got myself a steel pan because I was like, if I'm going to be home, I might as well relearn how to play my favorite instrument. So I can occasionally be heard pounding out some tunes in the evenings.
All right, what's your favorite song to play?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably anything Bob Marley, because it really just kind of sets the tone and calms me down.
Oh,
great.
Nice. Well, congratulations on everything that you would have accomplished, because you sure have accomplished a lot. Now, I would like to say, or boast, and say, I spoke to the person that did that logo. Can you tell me what logo is it I'm looking for when I go to Brimstone Hill?
Oh, it's the Brimstone Hill logo that's on all their correspondence, on the product itself. Yeah.
Okay, well, viewers, I did speak to that person. So
You
I'm
got
going
video
to
proof,
boast
Nancy.
now. I'm going to start posting now. So how do you balance work life and family life?
Oh, I have a very supportive husband. So I think,
sweet.
So much of this work cannot be done without having someone who really supports you in all you do. And we have two amazing children, and he's the one who keeps the home fires burning. And not only that, but he's become a really decent West Indian chef. So I had oxtail this weekend, compliments of him with rice and peas. I just need to get him to get the curry goat right there, and then we're good to go.
That's sweet. That is too sweet.
Oh, that is so funny.
So yes, having a little bit of home at home makes a huge difference.
Oh, that is so funny. You know, I realize that you and I have something else in common, Doctor. The fact that at this year's St. Kitts Music Festival, we were looking forward to the same artist. I'm going to let everyone know who that artist was.
Oh, definitely Nadia Batson. She is amazing. I think her music is wonderful. Her writing skills are beyond par, and frankly, she's a great performer. So I truly enjoyed her, and she was definitely my favorite one of the show.
Aww, and Jamie's face is pink as ever. I can't wait for you to see this interview to see what I'm talking about, Dr. Gray. Every time her name is mentioned, Jamie just lights up. And he has a flush
She is
pink
that
face.
good, but it's not about me, Mackenzie. Let's go back to Dr. Gray.
So, Dr. Gray, we know you recently visited the Federation, but how else do you maintain your connections with St. Kitts?
Oh, well, I have friends and family, of course. They're in the islands. I try to keep in touch as much as possible with what's happening. And everybody knows WhatsApp is the best way to keep in contact. And my sister and I had the pleasure of donating actually some stretchers to the ambulance department about a month ago, because we thought it was really important for us to contribute to help with the healthcare on the island itself. So that was one small way that we kind of reached out and gave back.
Thank you, and we appreciate that.
Definitely do.
Me too.
Well, Doctor, it's been such a pleasure talking with
Indeed
you, getting to know you, getting to know what you have been doing. You know, shout out to your husband for me, because I figure sooner than later he's going to be making you, I don't know, can he make you black pudding? Is that going to be on the list? We're going to see. We're going to put it out there. That might be a tall order, but you tell him by this time next year.
You're giving the guy, you're giving him hard work now. Oh, man.
Oh, but definitely our pleasure.
I think he might check union rules on that one.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to meet with us. It's been our pleasure. And of course, all the best to you. And if you're ever in St. Kitts, please feel free to stop by the studio. We'll be happy to talk to you in person.
Excellent. I will. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You too, Dr. Gray.
Bye-bye.
Viewers, stay tuned. Much more after the break.
Good morning, SKN. This is Lyrical. I just want to say blessings to you. There are a happy place in the life if you live in there. A happy place in the life if you live in there. Cause them at a happy place in the life. And they can't change. And they just come out here to do right. So whether day or night, they will never ever change. Blessings, blessings, and blessings.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
I wear a mask because I want to protect my child, but also I want to protect his classmates and his teachers.
I wear a mask because I care about the frontline workers who will have to work even harder if those around me get sick.
I wear a mask to protect my family. I wear a mask to protect you. I wear a mask because it is the right thing to do.
I wear a mask because I don't want to put any vulnerable individuals at risk, like my elderly loved ones.
I wear a mask because
we are all in this together.
Good morning, this is Carol from Lux Carnival, and I listen to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. We are now going to engage in a conversation with Davina Baptiste, where she'll let us know about her weight loss journey and how this influenced her to start her business Wellness with Davina B. Welcome to Good Morning SKN. Davina, pleasure to see you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to this.
All right, well, apparently so has Hortensia, because she couldn't wait about 2 segments ago. So finally you're here. And we're going to ask you to tell us what motivated you to start your weight loss journey.
Okay, so, I was heavier all my life. I make this joke and I tell people, like, I was born a fat baby. I was always, chubbier as a child and, carry that into adulthood. So, carrying around that extra weight, over time wasn't a good thing. And it peaked in 2015. So at that point, I was struggling to climb up a flight of stairs. I was having digestive issues. One doctor told me I had gastroesophageal reflux disease. I was having migraines, insomnia, fatigue. I was just feeling really unwell in my body as somebody in their early 30s. And I was like, I can't continue like this. And so, I know it sounds cliche, but on January in 2016, I was like, this is the point where I have to change my life. And so I embarked on a journey to change my lifestyle. And within 7 months, I was able to shed 50 pounds and feel just so much better in my body and overcome a lot of the things that were beginning to become an issue health-wise.
Wow.
Very impressive indeed, Davina. I mean, you make New Year's resolutions seem doable now.
Yes.
That's great.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Normally, when we start in January, we drop off the bandwagon by March. How hard was it for you to continue, and did you notice any changes to your health following your weight loss journey?
Well, I mean, not to say that I didn't do that before that you mentioned, like starting and stopping. And I tried a lot of other things before, all the different diets, the low carb, diet pills, near starvation. I tried all those things in the past. And of course, they didn't work because they weren't sustainable. And so I decided I needed to find a sustainable and healthy way to change my lifestyle. Like, I didn't think about it as, oh, I'm on a diet. I was like, this is a lifestyle change. And I think that's what made the difference, that I decided I was going to do it slow and steady, which is the best way to do it, and create a lifestyle that I could take to the rest of my life, not just some crash diet that I do for 3 months. And then the minute I come off of it, like, everything is undone.
Yep.
So that was my approach. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Right.
And congrats again.
Indeed, definitely. You are a legend and obviously an inspiration for many, many people.
Yeah.
So what can you tell us about your journey to becoming an herbalist and a hormone health consultant? Was that inspired in any way by your weight loss, or was it something else?
Definitely. So of course, years later, I mean, over the years, people who knew me would ask me, oh, how did you do it? How do you keep it off? And, I tried to share some tips, but, never really knowing how to do it, and exactly what to say. I knew what worked for me specifically, and I would try to help as much as possible. But in 2020, when we were all at home during lockdown here in St. Kitts, I was on Facebook one day and I was like, hey, you know what, let me share my health journey. And I did like this side-by-side photo where I started versus where I was at that time, and kind of just how I got there and, why I started. And people were like flooding my inbox, like, how did you do it? Tell me, I need some help. And again, I was like, okay, here's what I did. I'm not sure if it's going to work for you. But it was so interesting in media. And then I saw this ad, become a wellness coach, and I was immediately intrigued. I was like, what does that even mean? Yeah?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
Yeah,
yes,
we're hearing you.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. Become a wellness coach, and I was intrigued, and I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. So I looked at the program, did some research, and I was like, I wonder if this is something I should do, because it was completely out of my wheelhouse of things that I knew that I liked doing, because, I'm a creative person, make handbags and jewelry. I did makeup in the past, and so this was completely different. But I was like, maybe this is a sign, right? And so I enrolled in that first program and finished that one within a few months, about 4 months. And then I started my practice in July of 2020. And I started with 3 persons, which was great. And it's just grown from there. And then so through my studies, and I've done additional courses since then, is that especially when it comes to women, I realized that people were approaching me for help with weight loss, but they were experiencing other things. And through doing specific courses and a lot of research, I realized that our hormones play such a huge role in everything that our body does, right? They're important chemical messengers, that manages everything from metabolism, reproductive health, your sleep, your mood, muscle growth and recovery, brain health, gut health. And it's like, okay, this makes sense, right? Because women will be coming to me, I want to lose weight, but I'm tired all the time. I want to lose weight, but I'm having trouble with my period. I want to lose weight, but I also have fibroids. And I realize like all of these things are connected. So how do I blend, helping people lose weight while also supporting their hormone health and other aspects of their health? And that's how I kind of merged the two and decided to specialize in that. So then now I help women who struggle with resistant weight, PMS, painful periods, fibroids, PCOS, thyroid issues, get to their health goals and just feel more vibrant and healthy. And then to supplement that, I've always been interested in herbs and have used herbs in my personal journey as well to resolve some issues that I was having, like my sleeplessness, my period problems. And I decided to take that extra step and become a herbalist as well so that I can help people on that front as well.
Okay, so Davina, you spoke to herbalism. So what exactly is a herbalist?
So a herbalist is someone who, I'll give you my definition, looking to nature for the answer to helping support good overall health. And like I said, I have found success in doing that, through my research, through doing coursework, looking to nature, because when we think about, and when I've looked at so many different herbs, especially things that a lot of us have growing in our gardens, and the healing properties that they have, it's like, I've not really relied on conventional medicine for the past 2 years since I've explored the power of herbs. So that would be my definition, looking to nature to help support your overall health and wellness.
Interesting.
All right, well, Davina, we are going to take a short break, but we're going to continue this conversation on the other side of this break.
Yes.
So stay with us.
All
We're doing
right.
a scan into Flash.
Okay.
Where are you going? I just mopped the floor and now the chair leaving marks all over the place. Come on, go in bed, see? Sometimes I just can't take you on.
Violence is expressed in many ways. Most, unfortunately, go unreported or unaddressed for many reasons. If you or someone disabled is being abused, contact the police at 465-2241, social services at 467-1314, or the St. Kitts Nevis Association of Disabled Persons at 465-2151, 663-9077, or 663-4116. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO.
Has anyone ever touched you here, or here? Well, these are actually bad touches, not good ones. And so, if anyone ever touches you in these areas or anywhere else that makes you uncomfortable, you must say no, then go and tell. Say it with me. Say no, then go and tell.
This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with Probation and Child Protection Services, the Ministry of Health, and the Pan American Health Organization.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. Yes, we are continuing our conversation with Davina Baptiste. Do you sense my excitement still? Owner of Wellness with Davina B. So, Davina, can you tell us what are some of the most common diseases that are caused by hormonal imbalances?
Well, I can speak to what I've seen in my practice, and all of the women that I've spoken to. I'm seeing fibroids being very prevalent, as well as polycystic ovarian syndrome. Those have been the two most prevalent that I've seen. And I'm still always amazed at how many women, especially young women, are experiencing these things and having challenges in knowing what to do and where to turn in order to feel better and overcome their symptoms.
What about the men, Davina? Do you deal with hormonal issues with men?
Well, my niche is women. Okay. However, more recently, in the last few months, I did get some interest from men wanting to be able to lose weight in a healthy and sustainable way. And so I do have one, DIY program that can be purchased from my site for men, but my niche is really women.
Okay, good stuff. So at least the men know they can come across if they need some help.
Yes, they can.
Okay.
All right, so just in case, some more men are watching and listening to you, that website, can you give it to us right now, please?
It's wellnesswithdavinaB.com.
Okay, that's so easy to remember. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how you assess a person's hormonal health. For anybody who's wondering, maybe I'm having these issues, what's going to happen when I come to you for a consultation?
Okay, so, I'm not a doctor. Some people who come to me do already have a diagnosis. Some, don't, but they are experiencing some symptoms. So when people come to me, they can book a free 50-minute discovery call, where when they book it, there's an intake form that they share everything that they're experiencing with me so that I could kind of get an idea. I don't provide a diagnosis if they don't have any, but at least I can provide some guidance on, hey, based on what you're experiencing, it could be this. I suggest that you go see a doctor to get a proper diagnosis.
So what are some of the other services that you offer?
Well, there are two ways that you can reap the benefits from my programs. So on my website, I have some do-it-yourself programs for various things, like for fibroids, PCOS, weight loss. You just go, you purchase it, you download it, and you start it whenever you want. And then the other option is to work with me one-on-one. I have a signature 30-day program called Thrive, the 30-day hormone detox for women. And so when you book that free 50-minute discovery call, it's kind of to discover how I might be able to assist you and whether you prefer to go the do-it-yourself route or if you want to work with me one-on-one for 30 days for a personalized approach. And I coach via a dedicated app, and the meal plan is personalized recipe ebook. I also believe in educating people, so it's heavy on education. I have video modules as well as daily lessons in the app. And then they have access to me. I call it like WhatsApp for your health, basically, where, if you need support or if you have questions, I'm right there. You can send me a message, whether voice note or text message, and I'm there to help and support you.
Oh, you seem to thought of it all. Comprehensive services, indeed. And speaking of that, let's talk about the products now. In particular, we're talking about herbal tea, blissfully balanced herbal tea. Your blissfully balanced herbal tea.
Really exciting. I've I've been working on it for many months, formulating and testing and researching to find the perfect blend for women who struggle with some of the most major hormonal imbalance symptoms. So I wanted to make something that could help women with PMS, period problems like cramps, PCOS, fibroids, endometriosis is another one, as well as women who are in perimenopause and menopause. So I wanted to create something that was not just hormone balancing, but also supports your nervous system, that supports your gut health and immune health, and just help you to feel better overall. And after many, many months of testing, trying different formulas, trying different herbs and blends, I created something that I think appeals to the senses too, because I didn't want it to be something that you dreaded having. I wanted it to smell good, I wanted it to look good in your teacup, and I wanted it to taste good as well. So besides having all the properties to help women feel better, I wanted it to be an experience as well. So I think I was able to do that. And I'm happy to say that it's already helping a lot of women with a lot of their hormone imbalance issues, including myself, because it's something that I have myself every day.
Lovely. Well, you spoke about your product, so let's let some of your clients speak about your product. We are going to look at some reviews at this time.
Oh.
Yes. Wow. So this client says she started out with you at 168. She was recommended by her best friend, and she didn't expect much. She said she have tried many fad diets, and she thought that was that. But she said, your product was completely different. She said, Davina changed my life. I'm now 18 pounds down, and my body feels so much better. The greatest gain for me wasn't the weight loss. It was learning my body and what made it do the things it did. She said, you helped her to manage her stress and hormone levels. You taught her what foods were healthy and which were not. And now she's able to live a healthier lifestyle thanks to you. When you hear such things, how does that make you feel, Davina?
I get a little emotional, honestly, because what an incredible thing it is to be able to help somebody feel better. And I think what makes me even happier is that even though a lot of people come to me with their main goal being losing weight, it always ends up being that becomes kind of secondary, and that they value the fact that they're not feeling as stressed, that they're sleeping better, that their clothes are fitting better, that, they're not tired doing normal everyday things, that they value those things a little bit more over the weight loss. And I would say that was the same for me as well. Yeah, it was great losing the weight and seeing the scale go down, but it was also great being able to sleep every night, get restful sleep and not be stressed and not have my period problems and not have migraines and not have gastroesophageal reflux disease. Like, those things are so much more important to me now. Than saying, I lost 50 pounds,
Okay, nice.
All right, well, Davina, we want to thank you for stopping by. In our last 15 seconds, of course, your contact information for anybody who is interested in contacting you. Again, your website.
They can via my website, wellnesswithdavinaB.com, or they can email me at connect@wellnesswithdavinaB.com.
Davina, it's been our pleasure. Thank you so much. I think I learned a lot today.
Yes,
from you.
me too. And
thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to hold you to that.
Please do.
All right, then. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day.
You're welcome. Thank you, and same to you. Viewers, stay tuned.
Thank you.
Up next, much, much more.
You see that new boy that just joined the school last week? He brought me a chocolate this morning because I showed him the way home from school yesterday.
You like him?
No, he's just my friend. Plus, he is my neighbor. He asked me if we can walk home together for lunch tomorrow, and I told him yes.
I don't like these big boys. They tend to like to touch girls without your consent.
What do you mean by consent?
It's when one person agrees to give permission to another person to do something.
He is cute though.
Guys, you won't believe what happened the other day with the new boy from school.
What happened?
The other day, while walking home with the new guy, he followed me into my house. I thought it was okay because he seemed friendly and respectful. So I turned on the TV and offered him a soda. We sat in the chair together. Then he leaned over and kissed me. I was so shocked I sat up straight and asked him why he did that. He said he thought I liked him. I told him not in that way.
What? Girl, you should have never allowed him inside your parents' home.
My parents will be very angry if they meet any boys in our home plus kissing me.
Guys, we don't need to be burdened down with teen pregnancy and relationship problems at this time. Boys need to understand that girls are not sex objects.
Remember, you have the right to consent to every activity being performed, from holding hands to anything more, and to change your mind at any time. If your partner does not respect your wishes, this also is a form of abuse. If you, your friend or family member is being abused, you can contact one of the numbers listed below for help. Department of Gender Affairs 662-5492, Special Victims Unit 662-7077, Counseling Unit 465-5000. This message was brought to you by the Department of Gender Affairs in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and the Pan American Health Organization.
Most people consume excess salt from processed foods, such as snack foods, processed meats, instant meals, and condiments.
Instead, use fresh vegetables, ground provision, fresh meats, and natural herb seasonings, just like our grandparents did, and just like you did with this soup. We are Salt Smart.
That there are certain seasonings that contain more salt than you actually need. There are more natural, healthier ways to reduce the salt intake in your dishes by using natural things like onions, garlic, seasoned peppers, and even thyme and merengue powder.
When growing your savings, where you save matters more than you think. Dare to compare and see for yourself why you should start saving and investing at First Federal Credit Union. You don't have to settle for cents. Let your money make sense. Reap a higher return by stashing your cash in a high-yield savings account or term deposit and earn up to 4% interest on your money. At First Federal, we say yes.
You can lower your salt intake by reducing salty foods, removing table salt, and using salt alternatives when cooking.
Hi. If you are a smoker, please pay attention to this message. According to the World Health Organization, there are 1.3 billion smokers in the world today, and tobacco kills 1 out of every 2 smokers. Did you know that there is enough nicotine in 5 cigarettes to kill an average adult if ingested whole? There are more than 7,000 chemicals in tobacco smoke, of which more than 250 are known to be harmful. More than 69 are known to cause cancer, and 16 are classified as Group 1 carcinogens. Smoking kills. Are you ignoring that warning every time you smoke? Please stop. Smoking can lead to severe health complications and even death. It affects almost every organ in the body, especially the lungs and heart. It raises blood pressure, increases blood clots, and increases the risk of stroke, heart attack, and cancer. It is hard to quit smoking, but it is not impossible. Don't let tobacco destroy you. Remember the 4 Ds to curb your tobacco cravings. 1. Delay. Set a time limit before you decide to smoke. 2. Drink water. Go get a drink before you do anything else. 3. Do something else. Have a goodie bag handy of other things to do. And 4. Deep breathing. Take at least 10 deep breaths every time you think about smoking. Quit smoking and live a longer and happier life. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health, St. Kitts and Nevis.
Dreamy Decor specializes in flowers for all events, from birthdays to weddings and any other special occasion. What's a better way to express to the people you love than by providing the finest selection of beautiful flowers and gifts? So when you think of flowers, think of us, Dreamy Decor.
Welcome back to Good Morning SKN. If you're just joining us, you're just in time as we continue Plastic-Free July. And we want to take the opportunity to show at least one way in which we can repurpose single-use plastics. Who better to call on than Vincia Collins, of course, of Vincia Artistry. Vincia has won several of the Sustainable Destination Council's recycling competition. Vincia accepted our invitation today to show us how we can turn single-use plastic into something purposeful. Good morning, Vincia, and welcome back to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning, and I thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, deja vu. You were here on our very first day.
Oh,
Yes.
December 6th,
look at that.
2021. Awesome. We're still
Thank
here.
you.
Oh,
Thank
you're back.
you.
Okay, great.
It's my pleasure to be back.
Thank you.
All right, so today we're talking all about the products that you have for us, single-use plastics, right? Plastic-Free July.
Yes.
So what do we have here, Vincia?
Okay, we have a variety of jewelry, earrings, in particular, that was made from plastic.
All right, let's start over here.
This one was made from a very cute little plastic bag.
Oh, really?
Plastic bag, she said. Plastic bag.
Plastic bag.
Okay, come on. You got to tell me about the inspiration for this one. It was made from a plastic bag. What gave
This
it
one, well, okay, the technique for this, right?
Which one? This one?
Both of them.
Both of
These
them,
are
okay.
plastic bags.
Nice.
There's a technique called plastic fusing where you iron the plastic.
Iron plastic
You
that's
iron
fixed
the
to something
plastic
hot?
on a low heat.
What?
And with parchment paper or maybe A4 regular printing paper, newspaper, and you under low heat, it cannot be too high, otherwise the plastic will melt.
Yes.
Right? And it gives it a sort of fabric feel
Oh, okay.
after. Yes.
You're absolutely right.
And yes, and then you're able to cut it like you would cut fabric, right? And you cut it into your little shapes.
I like that.
Yes.
As I was telling her, that one reminds me of a spear that was probably at Bloody Point back in the day. It just has the Native American feel and look. Yeah,
I didn't even think of that, but
yeah.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're giving Vinci marketing ideas. All right, here you go, Vinci.
This one and this one.
The old one, yes.
And this one. These were made from plastic bottle.
Look at that.
The Lysol bottle. Yes, I don't throw anything. And yes, this they're all hand painted. This one in particular, and this was I used dye. This is yes, this is ink dye to give it this look. And
so you dyed the plastic?
No, I dyed it after.
Oh, okay.
After I cut the shape out.
Oh, okay.
And,
yes. Down and so on.
So I dyed it after, and yes.
Plastic.
This one, and I use there's this glue. It's called Mod Podge. It's like a sealant. I use it, and it gives it this nice gloss.
Yes.
Yeah, it gives it a neat finish.
Yeah, both of them.
Yes.
That one, the round one that Jamie's holding up, has a neat finish as well.
Yes. This is one of
and
my
it
favorite ones.
and it does look earthy. It does look like Save the Earth.
Yes, and these little balls, they're not, they're handmade beads as well. I made them.
How do you hand make beads?
That's for the next topic.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Visit number 3. You get it.
I know.
My gosh, Vincent, how long does something like this take you?
All of these took me, because I work, took me 2 nights. I actually finished this one this morning.
Oh, nice.
Because after work last night, I was so tired. I started, but then I finished it this morning.
Okay, nice.
Yes, so one can take you practically maybe an hour and a half. Yes.
That's not bad at all. I have to ask, are these one-of-a-kind pieces, or do you do as many as you have parchment paper for, or?
Well, I did them really for today's show.
Okay.
So these are one-of-a-kind pieces for now?
For now.
For now, so you plan to reproduce them?
In the very near future, yes.
I gotta say, I thought this one was my favorite, guys. I'm gonna put that down. This one I thought was my favorite, yeah. This one, sorry.
This one also is plastic.
That one that you're wearing?
Yes, this is actually the seal that is around the water bottle.
That is so cool.
And I use thread. So they're wrapped with thread. Even this as well.
Look at that.
The level of detail in that, again, how long did that take? Because that's gorgeous, by the way.
Yeah,
this took me about 3 days because I was on and off. Yes.
Wow. And you do this by yourself, no help?
By myself.
Okay. Wow. And when you're done, and you model it and so on, you sell these things.
Definitely.
So where? Let's talk about that.
Well, I've not actually started marketing like that, but 1 or 2 friends who would know me and know my creation, and once they pull me up and they ask, Vinci, I'm looking for so and so in so and so color, then that's a sale. That's a done deal sale.
Shensu, your marketing ideas, let's go.
Yeah, of course. See, I market that already, and I'm looking at the actual pressed item that she's actually spoken about, because this, I can see the gloss and everything is on this, the finished product, but I was looking at
the plastic.
Yeah,
this is the actual plastic.
Look at this.
And this is like 3 plastics combined and press.
Oh, nice.
This is the red in between because I wanted to give it that lift. Yes, because the actual plastic itself was just a little too plain. A little white piece right here. So I mixed it, yes.
Yeah, wow.
To give it that sort of pop.
I never knew Vinci had all of the creativity.
I gotta say, so let's talk about the processing. Can you explain to us how these things were done? Apart from the fact that you've layered over, I mean, you've gotten to that point.
Yes, I have. there's a piece of plastic in there.
Uh-huh.
Can I just grab it?
You can stay right here. Somebody look at it
Okay.
first. So you just talk
It
about
looks just like this. It's square. It's not painted or anything.
It's plain.
Looks just like this.
Just like square, yeah.
Look at that.
Uh-huh. And what do you do with that?
Okay, that is the actual plastic plane.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that one as well. But there's another square piece.
All right. So you really have your templates set out. You cut them out
Yes,
beforehand.
I use like manila paper because it's easier to manage.
Okay.
And I trace with a pen or pencil, marker. You need scissors, you need glues for painting.
Okay, I see what you did here.
Yes, so this is the actual plastic.
Okay.
But what I also did to give, this sort of stiffness, I would use paper in between the plastic.
That makes sense.
Yes.
To hold it up.
To hold it, yes.
Rigidity to it.
Yes.
Great.
You want, to have the best. And for these are already plastic bottles, so they're thick.
Okay.
So all I did was basically paint.
I love this.
Yes.
There's no reason to dispose of your plastics ever again.
Not at all.
Donate them to Vincia.
I would be very upset with you.
That's like your raw material.
So, Vincia, other than reaching out to you on Facebook, as Jamie would have asked before, do you go down to town on Fridays and sneak in a little corner and set out your table? And
No, I have a full-time job.
Okay.
So it's not allowing me to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least not right now.
Well, you're here with us today, and obviously you've brought some great things to show.
Yes.
So there are people who are going to know all
Exactly.
about you. So you're on Facebook?
Yes, I'm on Facebook, Vincia Collins on Facebook.
Easy enough to find you.
Or you can call me, contact me on 665-1973.
Have you ever thought of doing classes, conducting classes for people, maybe tourists even?
I did in the very near
Okay.
future because, I would really like to retire at an early age because this is what I love most.
Okay.
And so why not?
I love it.
I will get into it, deeper and have some sessions and yes.
I love these.
Listen, I'm looking at these especially, and all I'm thinking is Native American. Something about it, the indigenous Indians, is just pulling me in. All I'm seeing is them with these and the spears. I swear.
The model out of Cortencia. I'm going to do that as we go to a break. Cortencia the model. Cortencia the model, guys. I'm not going to model this because, when Vincia does another thing, we'll do it. So, Vincia, thank you so much for coming by today. Vincia's
my
artistry,
pleasure.
of course.
Yeah.
Great to see you again. Of course, we're looking forward to visit number
thank
3.
you for having me.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a moment, everyone. Stay tuned.
This is nice.
Let's face it, most parents or guardians don't want to think about their teens having sex, let alone contemplate the possibility that they might get pregnant or get someone pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is a situation that involves female adolescents. A teenage female can be pregnant as early as age 12 or 13, although it is usually 14 and older. The fact that teenagers become pregnant is related to many factors. Here are some tips to decrease teen pregnancy. Teach teenagers comprehensive sex education. target messages at teen boys, not just girls. Get the whole community involved. Encourage mentoring, parental involvement, and support. This message was brought to you by Project Viola through the Department of Gender Affairs with support from the Basic Needs Trust Fund and the Caribbean Development Bank.
Consuming excess salt can lead to heart attack, high blood pressure, and even stroke, and other health-related conditions such as kidney disease.
For dinner. Let me just check the amount of sodium in this can. Oh no, this is too much. Let me try our next option. They did say it's healthy to consume less salt. This is much better. I am salt smart.
As a hypertensive patient, in my home, I reduce salt intake by not adding salt during the preparation of my food, not having a salt shaker on my table, limiting the consumption of salty snacks, and choosing products with low sodium content. That's why I am salt smart.
Do you know that common baked goods such as bread and crackers are high in salt? Get salt smart.
All right, guys, so it's time to let you know what's happening. It's that time on the show where we let you know what's happening, all right? So here's what's happening. There's a Night of Steel. That's correct. The Nevis Cultural Development Foundation presents a Night of Steel tonight, July 25th, starting at 8 p.m. at the Cultural Village. Come out and enjoy performances by the Nevis Steel Orchestra, Wally Pan Vibrations, the Positive Steel Orchestra, Young Vibrations Steel Orchestra, and so much more. Patrons can also look forward to a performance by the special guest, EBJ Harmonics, and adults pay $30 to enter, children only $20. So enjoy a night of 10, dance, food, and fun. Yeah, I know, all that and so much more right here.
And do not forget, it's plastic-free July, so we do encourage you to get your recyclable water bottle with filter from the folks at ESCO. You can contact them on Facebook. And Jamie, how was the water? I know they say we don't toast with water, so I'll take my own sip. I'll drink to that.
Take your sip. I'm just going to thank everybody for joining us today while you do that for another edition of Good Morning SKN. Of course, reminding you to follow us on our social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Handle is so simple, guys. At Studio327INC. Like, subscribe, follow, and share.
And we always ask that you leave us a comment and you let us know what's your favorite part of today's show. And this is where we say, see you tomorrow, Tuesday at 8 a.m. when you will start your morning with us right here at Good Morning SKN, where there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Thank you for tuning in today, guys. See you tomorrow.